We're live.
We are so live.
We're live, dude. Don't look at me. Look at the.
You just looked at me. I looked back. I don't know. New setup.
We have a totally new setup now. We're in my living room now instead of the garage. So we have to like rebrand and rename ourselves or something like that, maybe.
Welcome to the new garage.
The new garage, the comfy garage, because it's not cold. It's cold as hell outside right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't sound right. Cold as Arctic, because hell isn't cold.
It's cold enough.
It's cold. It's cold out there. Anyways,
we just got some upgrades and thought it'd be cool to be able to see stuff a little bit better.
Better, comfortable. More. It got a little bit more tech. 2 mics now.
Two mics.
So we're not sharing a mic anymore.
I don't know. Both ways is fun.
Yeah,
both ways.
You know.
Both ways.
Yeah. But we're doing it. So
welcome back to Two Dudes Garage. It's been a while. So
how long has it been since we done one, man?
It's been a while. Like I think we recorded 8-10 months ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
8-10 months ago was a good time in crypto. Now it's like,
I mean,
well, it wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad as it is now.
It was a good time to buy.
Yeah, it was a good time. Well, it's a great time to. Well, yeah, exactly. Because right now everything is up. It's crazy.
That 20,000 Bitcoin. Yeah.
I think it was less than that.
Oh no, it was at one point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It was, but now it's at 42, which is disgusting.
Disgusting, huh?
Yeah.
Well, at least it's coming back sometime. So we were kind of talking about, we don't think 2024 is going to be that interesting. It's probably just going to ride out at this or even go lower again.
Yeah. There's not much economy to sustain it. There isn't any free money anymore. Everything's interest rates are high, so I don't really see it like getting out of control like it did.
Right. And the market, I don't think is confident yet. Like it's rebuilding back, but it's still like fairly weak in my opinion, right? Like
the economy's not strong at all. There isn't enough money going around.
So
I mean, minimum wage is going up. I mean, but that just goes to the consumer. It doesn't go anywhere else. You know what I mean?
So we still think it's going to be a while.
You think so? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's going to be a minute.
Could be all year. Like 2025 might look more interesting.
I think 2025. I think at least maybe 2 years minimum. Yeah. I just don't see it. I don't see like people are still salty about it too. You know what I mean? The people that went in on it and got like rug pulled and burned
sure.
and everything is just people are just they're like it still has the taste is still there in their mouths. You know what I mean? But like maybe 2-3 years from now, they'll lighten up or forget about it, you know.
Well, just new waves of people at that point.
Exactly, too. Or new waves or new opportunities. Like, you know, companies will start accepting it, and like, you know, more governments start accepting it, and maybe it'll gain more population. I don't know.
Sure. Right, like some people don't realize, like just because they bought it at $50K, just because it went down doesn't mean it's necessarily like a horrible bad investment. And they didn't get burned except by themselves. Yeah. But like the price goes up and down, right? But so it's like, well, if you keep it, it's still going to be worth something. So
no, definitely. And I mean, we still have new bottoms. You know what I mean? Like we're not back at like 2 years of a bottom. You know what I mean? Like we're at higher bottoms. Right. So it's not like it's completely useless at this point. I mean, some crypto has been disappeared, but
it's straight no longer existed.
It doesn't exist. It's not on the map anymore. And some of it's hanging on by a thread, but it's pretty much, how should I say it? Like it's just pretty much like worthless. Yeah. And then we have the top 20 that are just, you know.
We don't know where the Clifford Inu went.
Clifford Inu's gone.
I think. Who knows?
The NFT craze is gone with a Doge nose that was like, what was it, like 20 ETH or something like that? Something stupid.
80 grand.
Yeah, it's probably one of our videos way back. I have to reference that.
Yeah. I mean, do you think NFTs will ever... Like it'll come back in smaller waves at times, probably. Right?
I think people will realize that like buying a Bored Out 8 Club that was one of one compared to a Disney license or you know a DC license or any kind of licensing like a Paramount, any movie, anything, you know, will be worth more in the long run than just some guy dropping an NFT of a Bored Out 8 Club and making it worth $3 million.
Right, it still has to have more functional value or main.
It has to have IP. If there's no IP, then it's worthless at that point.
Right. It's only worth what the market kind of flippantly feels like for a year or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or what someone's willing to pay, and we've seen that it went from $3 million to $300. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's what it's worth now.
Yeah. What people can hype around for a long time and convince other people, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Then it's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Like obviously you got to look at things like actual projects and use cases, which we've talked about before. It'll ride out through, all this kind of stuff, but it's a lot of things to look at.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just good to see that it's still surviving in this crazy economy that we're in right now, where interest rates are high, um, you know, brink of war,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's interesting to see that it's still kind of just doing its thing. It's not completely falling apart and gone to zero like everyone expected to.
Yeah, I think given enough time, there's always more interest in Bitcoin, to be honest. So like, all these people get upset and frustrated and leave and exit, and then somebody's gonna want to buy more. I think at this point, I mean, even $20,000 of Bitcoin is still like kind of a lot. Like people don't really have that perspective. It's just not 50, 60, 70. It's not a million. It's not 300,000 like people want it to be. But that's like it's so much. Like 500,000 a coin is retarded. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like you can't expect that yet. I mean, maybe someday, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know the Bitcoin halving is supposed to be happening in like 110 days, and like every time like a block and all that is everything that's minted, like the amount that comes out is even less. So there's going to be less on the market within the next couple months. So that's interesting,
Yeah, that might create a little craze there. It might
over
increase the
time,
value.
especially like within like 1 to 3 years, there's just less and less that like miners are getting.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna it can't stay that the
Yeah.
price. It's not sustainable to be low, honestly.
Yeah.
So long term, that's my thoughts.
Sounds good.
But we like that because why else are we doing this podcast?
Right? Yeah. It's to make money.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? I mean, there's just so many factors and things that are pointing towards that direction, and we don't really care what the price is right now. We're just trying to tell you, like, look at the trends, right? And so I had some articles kind of just point in that direction to show us, regardless of how bad the economy is or whatever, yeah, everything's trending up a little bit. It might go back down for a while, but a lot of things are still being adopted all over the world. So anything else? Talk
No,
about the general market.
Yeah, let's get let's see what the market's doing as of today, December 26th, 2023.
One day post Christmas. Here we are.
There's a lot of green actually.
Yeah.
And red.
Red and green. Those are Christmas numbers.
Christmas style. And Bitcoin's sitting at 42,434. It's actually 0.29% up. Ethereum's sitting at 2,225. And we don't talk about Tether or any of that BNB stuff. So Solana's actually wow. Okay,
I know.
That threw me off a little bit because XRP has always been king in the first altcoin, and now Solana is up there at $111.
Solana tanked pretty hard. It was like $20 to $40 for a while. So I'm just surprised to see it up that high again.
That's insane.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's up 48% in the last 7 days, dude. Dude, someone's
pumping this?
Pumping and dumping.
You're right.
Oh, they're pumping it so hard.
Oh my goodness.
So XRP is at 62 cents. Wow, it lost its crown. And then Cardano is sitting at 59 cents. You know, I remember Cardano was like, when it first crashed, it went up to like 22 cents, 24 cents. Came back up, dude. It like doubled. Like if you would have put your money on anything that was like at the bottom, you would have doubled your money as of today.
That's the funny thing when people get all sad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, it's down. It's like you could just buy it all now. Like, Avalanche was at like $10. It's at 43. Can you imagine if you just buy a pile of that?
And the one and only, the meme king of all. It's at the 10th, or it's not really technically the 10th spot because we like got rid of 3.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's sitting at 9 cents. And then I will just say 2 more because the other coins. So Polkadot sitting at $8.60, and Polygon Matic is at $1.04. So yeah, like overall, like I'm actually pretty impressed because I haven't looked at this at all in like months. So like now that I'm looking at this, I'm like pretty impressed of like when we left off how like disgusting it looked. Now it looks like
Yeah.
it's recouped at least 50% of what the bottom was.
I think the reality is we knew that it just wasn't going to be very interesting for a while, and I still think while it's healthier, it's not outrageously interesting like it was
Yeah.
back in like 2020 and 21. But like we did have some technical difficulties. We did work through some things, but I think it's definitely a good sign, and there's a lot more to come in a healthier direction. Like we said, it just might take a while.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the new bottom for, let's say, 2024, it's actually a good start.
Yeah.
Most of the people probably have 20% of what they bought all time high, but it's a
Yeah.
good start, and maybe it starts trending up slowly, and then 2025 hits, and all of a sudden, end of 2024, 2025, early 2025, um, we see a rally like we did. What was it 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah,
20.
2021 was when 2020, 2021 is
Yep.
when
Yeah.
that Doge and everything was going crazy, and then
Yeah. That's the thing when it starts to get like the pre super hype year. It's just like building
yeah,
and building. Like you just it
and
doesn't go away.
and it's always end of year, early January, where like you'll see like a small pump at the end of year, and then you'll see a higher rally like January, February.
Mm.
That's
It's just that sometimes that year cycle stuff goes up. It's like everybody. It's just it's a train for a while. It's crazy. It's
yeah.
wild. So definitely can last for quite a while. I sort of wanted to touch on, even though it's not really crypto, FedNow service came out in the middle of 2023. And it's a real time payment system between banks built and operated in the Federal Reserve. Banks using this service can now send and receive payments in just seconds, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. FedNow modernizes the U.S. payment system by allowing banking customers to send and receive payments in real time. So for me, I just look at this. It's like all this stuff is getting more and more digital all the time, whether it's crypto or not. I don't think it really matters. It's just everybody's kind of catching on, and especially if it can be instant, especially if it can be all over the world. I mean, that's what a lot of the advantages of Bitcoin and ETH and all these cryptos can do. So you just now you have tons of options. And so bigger banking places, of course, they have like Venmo and PayPal and Zelle and all that kind of stuff. So just I don't know. Any thoughts on this?
Um, as a payment system.
Yeah. Well, it's like a institutional, like the bigger banks are using this too now.
As far as like money.
Oh, backed by the Federal Reserve.
Oh, you're talking
We're
about
just
like.
talking about banks doing like a lot more stuff digitally.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
instant, quick settlements, right?
yeah. So, I remember when you would have to send money to somebody, you'd have to either like get like a cashier's check to make it instant, or money order and stuff like that. But now, it's just so much easier just to Zelle somebody, Apple Pay somebody, Google Pay somebody, Venmo, whatever you want to call it. It's faster. Yeah, they have put regulations for money laundering, of course. Like anything else, you can't do more than what is it, like $900 or $600, and then it becomes like a
Right,
taxable thing.
right.
But I don't know how Zelle. I don't think Zelle like you can go over $900, and I don't think they're gonna like freaking send you like a freaking tax form. Like, hey man, you got like $8,000 of the Zelle transfers. I don't know how that works. I really don't know, but I just feel like Venmo and what was it, Cash App and all that other stuff was
Mm-hmm.
more oriented to that.
I'm not sure. I think sometimes that stuff still gets stamped at like $500 or $600, and you're supposed to like explain it, but I don't really do that. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't,
really know
I don't
either.
know.
I don't know.
They didn't want businesses doing it only to pay their employees, so it's like you're just giving
Yeah,
somebody $20,000 to $50,000, and then they're not paying any tax to all your employees. I think that was like the big
yeah,
thing. Is
yeah.
like some like
They wanted payroll. Yeah,
construction companies and stuff doing that, and it's
yeah,
like, well, that makes sense, right?
yeah.
But
I completely get that.
I
Yeah.
did see there was sort of an issue with that, but besides that, I don't think I mean, who's gonna go after somebody for like $800 at the end of the day? I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe it happens.
I
But
remember back in the day, people would get these Visa like a
gift cards?
gift cards, and they would use that to like instead of having a bank account, they would just put
Oh shit.
money like into that.
Yeah.
Like they'll just be like,
Yeah.
transfer money to my Visa card because all you had to do is send it like through like you put your routing information, you just send it to it,
Okay.
and people would use that to be like on the radar, below
Yeah.
the radar, like they would use
Off the radar.
off the radar, so not on it, but like off
Yeah,
of it.
very much so
Yeah,
off. Yeah.
but they would use that. Like I met a guy once, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I don't have a checking account." I was like, "Well, what do you? How do you? Don't you need like?" It was back when like everything was transitioning to like, oh, you need a card in order to like open up an
Right.
account or like to pay your cell phone bill. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he's like, I just have like these Visa cards that I charge up with money, and I think you can actually go to like a Walmart and like load it with cash. Like just put like, hey, I want to put like
Probably.
$500. I want to load this card with five
Yeah.
hundred dollars, and that was pretty crazy. That was insane, dude.
Why are you talking about me, bro? I'm just kidding.
Hey man,
That popped into my head as soon as you started. I was like, I'm gonna let him keep going.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You used to do that?
No, I was just
Oh.
definitely not me. I don't mind having a bank account. Like, I'm not scared of that.
Oh, you're just joking around.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
I was looking at you like, you used to do that, dude?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
I look like a guy that would do that, though.
It's a beard, man.
Yeah.
It's a beard.
Anyways, fun tangents.
That was a good tangent.
Yeah, right. So even though it's not crypto, I still feel like it's the world's all going digital more all the time, and there's just another kind of point to that, and it's not, just customers, but big banks. I mean, it's interesting to take a note anyway. So that's kind of why I want to touch on that.
Yeah, everything's digital now. Even the government's money, considering the fact that like everything's direct deposit. You don't get a check, you don't cash a check. It's all direct deposit. You never see it. It's just a little digit in your account, and you never get to feel it or see it. Like you never get to see all your money. You just like it's a digit in there,
Can you believe they used to have gold coins?
right?
Used to
Gold
carry
coins.
around? Like, what
They
is
used
this?
to have. They used to barter with like
Seashells.
yeah, like
Yep.
like freaking cows and like sheep and everything. Now
Yeah,
it's
chicken
like,
tongues. I'm
yeah,
just-
dude, like chicken eggs. Like people would get chicken eggs for
Dang it.
flour or
It
something.
broke.
Now it's like you just have your phone. Like I can't wait till everything's on your phone, like your ID, everything. Like you don't need to carry a wallet at all, and you can just use your phone. Dude, you know what I mean? Can you see your ID? Here it is. And I
Yeah.
think they're in the process of transitioning that. Like California and all these states are like going digital like identifications.
A lot of things are in the process of transitioning. I'll
Yeah,
leave that
dude.
joke right
Yeah,
there.
dude.
I'm not gonna keep going on that
Yeah,
one.
there you go. Transitioning is the word of the day.
Yeah, it's just a word of the last couple of years. So.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And like, what do you really use an ID for? You just double check someone's the right age or whatever, and they have the right kind of driver's license. But it's like you use it for that much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
True.
I don't know. So
yeah.
yeah.
And then it's all going to be in the blockchain anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
fair enough. The blockchain's down. I can't rent a car. It'll be more of a problem when there's like no electricity. Like that'll be more right.
Well, didn't you hear Elon, dude? Elon said he can like power like the United States with like 100 square miles of solar panels, dude.
I've heard something about that.
I saw it on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Nice.
Shout out to Joe Rogan and his podcast. Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's yeah. So stupid. I'll be like, that's pretty small time compared to us.
Shout out. No, I know. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. So, yeah. Once again, I think digital and everything is cool, but when you're talking about like near instant settlement payments and like global, then I feel like that's very significant, right? And that's sort of what they're getting to now. And so you go, okay, I don't really know what comes next, but another monetary fund, International Monetary Fund, says digital central bank digital currencies can replace cash. This is not the time to turn back. And basically, they were just saying it's like an international money fund. They said more than 100 countries are exploring CBDC, central bank digital currencies. Approximately 60% of the countries of the world. They could offer a safe and low alternate to cash. They would also offer a bridge to go between private monies and a yardstick to measure their value. Just like cash today, we can withdraw from banks. The level of interest of CBDCs is unprecedented. Several central banks have already launched pilots or even issued one, according to a 2022 survey conducted by the Bank of International Settlements. 68 central banks surveyed, 93 said they're exploring them, and 58 said they're likely or possibly issue a retail CBDC either in a short or medium term. So pretty much, once again, it's not crypto, but it's crypto's like mirror counterpart. You know, if all the world's going digitally, I don't think you're like too sad to be in crypto because it's definitely sticking around. Like, you know, it's not going anywhere. So it's just gonna all this stuff just gets bigger over time. You know, and any thoughts on that? It's just
Nah,
interesting
not really.
statistic for me that all these, and this is like a like a big fund, and they're just publicly saying like, yeah, we're acknowledging it, and all the world is looking at it, and probably will continue to go in the digital space. And that's not really that surprising. I mean, logically,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
everything is going that direction.
Yeah, it's not shocking. It's just the fact that the wheels are kind of slowly always turning more so in that direction, right? So just seeing all these companies and funds and whatever officially acknowledge it is is good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what else is
They're
up?
not buying all our crypto up and like owning it for the banks. So I'm sure they're doing that too. But
They are buying it.
yeah.
Little
But
liars.
not only that. So